Hello, everyone. Welcome to Alchemized Woman. My guest today is Brisa. For more than 15 years, Brisa has been helping people meet life as it is, gently without forcing it, through mindfulness, body awareness, and practices rooted in nature. What draws me to her work is that wave, mindfulness and compassion, yes, but also the body and the natural world as a teacher. She creates spaces where you can reconnect with your own wisdom and meet whatever you are carrying with a little more skill. Brisa, thank you for being here. Thank you, Brisa, for accepting my offer.
Thank you, Mook. Really, I'm honored to be here.
I remember the phrase that you're using, body as a home. It stayed with me. No, it's not just a vehicle, not a container, but a loving home that we are returning to. So, can you tell me a time that in your life, how when your body felt like anything but home? How did you connect with this home?
So it will come up a particular moment or few, but what I remember is that it has been and it's been a progressive, a progressive acknowledgement or experience of recognizing this body as home. I still forget and then meet it again like that. And mainly nowadays, even living in the mountains, sometimes can get still hectic and busy. Like today, for example, no, that I told you, I'm just one day before going to a trip, and I can feel my mind busy and getting busy, but I go outside or look through my window and I see these amazing mountains. And that for me, I feel very fortunate because then that's a reminder. Oh, I'm in home earth and I'm in my home body, no? So then I feel the soles of the feet, my hands, and then I come back home intentionally to this body for a little pause, at least in a hectic day. And so when I was young, since I grew up, my parents were very connected with nature. My mom is a potter, so very in contact with the senses, and the whole family loved to eat and cook. So the senses, the sensory, the senses were like the doorways, the sensory doorways, no? So through cooking and eating was my first experience to come back to the present moment. And along my life, that has been my main practice to come back to the present moment through the sensory doorways. And little by little, I started to go within and within through layers until there was one moment that I finally felt at ease and peace in my body. It was like, oh, okay. Although I started meditating when I was 15 years old and I'm going to be 47, but I started like self-taught. But it was through cooking and eating that I found that bridge into the daily life, no? So that mindfulness practice that at that moment I didn't know it existed. It was more like a Buddhist practice, and still at that moment I didn't heard about the word mindfulness nor the Satipatthana Sutra. So then I always at home, the refuge was the kitchen. So little by little, it started like that. Oh, okay. That refuge at home, that was the kitchen. I started to relate it, those sensations, those feelings, those emotions, when suddenly I felt at peace and ease and safe when I was connected in the present moment, no? And this body could feel safe. And that was also one of the resources I had when I went through some years of anxiety and depression. And at the beginning, not at the beginning, no, at some period of that, I had to stop meditating because I didn't feel comfortable in my body. Our anxiety would arise a lot. So I started mindful walking, and I continued cooking because I was learning to be a chef at that moment. And
I didn't know that.
and that is my first profession. And then I started practicing yoga and dancing. So through movement, mindful walking or the yoga and dance, and just mindful breath while I was moving and while I was cooking, little by little, I started finding this body again as a safe place. And little by little, I started befriending because I wasn't too much as a friend of my body and mind. No? So yeah, it has been a path, no? And nowadays, also one of my daily practice that reminds me to come back home is my pause with my ritual of tea.
Times when you get anxious, you feel numb and you feel slowed down and you want to stay silent and lie down. And sometimes when you get anxious, your heart starts to beat up. And as you mentioned, when you are in this state, sometimes like focusing on the breath in meditation cannot be easy.
Yeah. And nowadays, I can see that one of my tools to escape anxiety was to get very busy. And I can see nowadays still that tendency in me, but now it's more managed in a way, or I have learned to live with it when anxiety comes, and compassion has been integrated to it. So it's like, okay, so you're visiting now, no? And then, so those moments when I see that I become hectic or that I am forgetful, it's like, okay, that's like a ringing bell, no? Okay, let's come to the present moment, pause, feel the feet, feel the hands, feel the breath. And then nowadays I can slide smoothly right away into feeling again this body as home through that support beneath my feet, through that kind touch of the hand, the gentleness present in the movement that I feel when I breathe. And it reminds me also, as I was saying, these mountains that surround me, it's a good reminder. So when I feel my body, I feel really connected as well with home, body, earth.
As we continue with the practice, I think it can be just a moment as you start talking about it, huh?
Yeah, as you like. Yeah, it's gonna be a short practice, one that one can integrate in any moment, as I was just explaining, no? So inviting you to close your eyes or lower the gaze, to maybe lift your shoulders, breathe in and exhale, letting them down. Check with your neck if it needs some movement, and then center it back. Intentionally lift your feet and place them back again on the floor. Lift your hands and place them on your laps, maybe. If it feels comfortable, close your eyes or lower the gaze. And breathe in, maybe a little bit fuller. And gently breathe out. In the next breaths, just allow to breathe naturally. Nothing to fix, nothing to change. Just allowing the breath to breathe you as you breathe as well. And feeling the support beneath your feet. And through this support beneath your feet, recognize how you're being supported by this Mother Earth or Home Earth. May we allow to be present with those tingling or points of contact in touch with the ground. Just one breath at a time, being present in your feet, meeting the earth, allowing to be supported. And now integrating your hands, maybe noticing the weight of your hands as they rest where they are resting. You can gently, intentionally, and mindfully move the fingers, noticing how they feel from within as they move from the joints, the bones, and back again, allowing to rest them on your laps. And with kindness and curiosity, noticing any tingling, pulsing, more within your hands. And now, if it feels comfortable, allowing these hands to rest on your chest. And may this kind gesture of the hands be also a way to greet this body. And if it feels comfortable, you can greet intentionally with words to this body. Hello, dear body. Thank you for being present, serving this life on earth one more day. And just for a moment, remember how this body has been serving you, loyal, until this moment through your whole life. No matter how it has been, this body, it always has been present, allowing you to experience life on earth. And just allowing the top hand to caress the bottom one, as a dear one will caress your hand, like a grandmother, a caring grandmother, or a dear friend. So this This gentleness, this kindness is from this body who has been a companion and a home since the day we arrived to this earth, and will be until the day we leave it and we leave this earth. And inviting you to breathe in a little bit fuller and breathe out like a sigh. And gently coming with a mindful and caring attention to the area of the chest, noticing with your hands how it rises and falls. How the rib cage gently moves as well on the sides with each breath. How the shoulder blades at the upper back open slightly and come back to center with each breath. And gently coming to the space within that rib cage, to the heart space. Just allowing to remain curious and open with anything that arises. And when you notice it, breathe it in and breathe it out. May we allow to rest in this heart space as we notice life flowing freely within and around. Still feeling the support beneath the feet, kindly being held by home earth. And now inviting you to remember maybe a moment where you felt at ease and peace in your body. Maybe contemplating a beautiful sunset or sunrise or a place in nature where you felt also at ease and peace within home earth. And noticing the body sensations that might be present as you remember. Just allowing them to be as you breathe in and breathe out. And at any moment, if you like, you can place back again your hands in your laps. And now, inviting you to allow one hand to hold the other one. And intentionally exploring your hands with a touch, noticing the different textures, And gently lifting your hands so they are on the level of your face. And now gently you will open your eyes and just allow to see your hands, to meet your hands. You can turn them and just let go, breathe it out, any opinion, comment, judgment that arises about your hands. Just realize, wow, these are my hands, part of my body. Like if it were the first time you are realizing these are your hands. And now remember what these hands have done today for you, how they have cared for you, how they have cared for others. And now intentionally caress one hand as a way of offering some gratitude to your hands and through them to your whole body for the caring that I have already shown you today, offered you. And you can place both palms together and just bow to this home body, wise body, caring body. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brisa. We have focused too much on how to embellish the body.
Mm.
Clothes, you put makeups and creams and like you're trying to get fit and lots of things. I think it's valid for all genders. And we forget. I love cooking too. And today these hands cook lots of meals for the family. Like yeah, it's good to remember.
Yeah.
Not just good. There is a deep gratitude for you and for our body.
Mm-hmm. Mm. You know, uh, being a woman also has been a very interesting adventure for coming back to the body, no? And recognizing it as at home. Because we are very fortunate if we see it from this perspective. Like we have so many symptoms, like when we are on our cycle, when we lose our cycle, if we get pregnant and then have children, as we age, and then we have the, no, as I said, the menopause. Like there is continuously symptoms calling us back home, like the body telling us, stay with me, no? Stay with me. And of course, we might have, many of us might have traumatic experience. I think nowadays we can say that every human being had a traumatic experience, no? And the way that we have known to survive in this body is to escape from it, no? And to go into our thinking mind and to become very busy. So it's a gentle and long lifetime process of this process of recognizing the body as a companion and as our home, no? To befriending it. And so it's not from one day to the other. It's just little by little. And so So yeah, so recently my last two calls to remind me to come back to home body has been the last one. I was just 3 weeks ago through my first surgery, no, and yeah, of course, uncomfortability, and we are used to run away also from uncomfortable body sensations, no. But then if we meet with mindfulness and compassion, those body sensations, it's like lending a hand to the body when the body is always carrying us, embracing us, no? So little by little, I've been like breathing, feeling those body sensations, going intentionally to a neutral place, no? Mindful walking. For me, mindful walking is like, yeah, a great medicine. uh, when I started to cook again, being in my hands, no, the sounds, the aromas, and then 2 years ago, I went through the portal of menopause. No, but the 2 years before that for me was a roller coaster. No, so it.
I can understand this.
Yeah.
This is me now.
So there are continuous cues to come back of the body, and you have the option to choose. Are you gonna be miserable, or or you can take it as your practice, and maybe you are less miserable. Yeah.
Um, I think we are expecting our body to stay stable and the same, isn't it?
Yes. And always we have been used to achievement, no? Achievement to it has to achieve something to stay always strong, and as we age, we start realizing it's not only the wrinkles and the gray hair, but it's like okay, the I recovery from a not injury slower, or as we continue aging, there's going to be certain things that we cannot do. But something that I've been experiencing more with my practice of drinking tea in a ritual way is to listen, no? To listen more mindfully and deeply. Uh, and so I think as we age, we we can take that opportunity if it doesn't reveal itself naturally. It's like taking pause to listen to the body, no? Just embodied listening is how I'm, because it's like, yeah, you are feeling the body sensations, but in a way it's also to listen, no? So then we can respond more compassionately and to the needs of the body, no? No, I cannot stay longer in bed because I have to get up of bed and do things. But maybe there's a day that you don't really have to do many things, and yes, you can stay longer in bed because the body is needing to rest maybe a little bit more, no? And we don't have to feel guilty about it.
Yes, to that.
uh, yeah, like yeah, that's just an example, no? But yeah, I'm discovering that the body is inviting me to listen to it more, and it's like a calling. It's like, yeah, come, no? It's an invitation to listen, and when I am listening to it, embodying it, feeling the body sensations, I'm present with it. So I am present in my home. And suddenly the the defense, the guard, the tightness, the tension. Okay. No? All right. Just for this moment, just for this cup of tea, or just for this breath, or just for these couple of steps. They're ancient practices, no? So there was a time that I was learning with her and her family, because the beautiful thing is that she doesn't teach alone, she teaches with her family, no? And we had all these initiations as well. And one of the things that stayed with me is when you feel out of balance, either physically or mentally, no? When you feel sick, observe how is your relationship with nature. No? So when I realize that I am disconnected from nature, that I have gone into a period of being very busy, producing things, working, even being a mindfulness teacher, I can get into periods that I am very busy, right? Teaching,
Yes.
teaching. Writing.
Sometimes this happens. Yes.
And then I'm versatile. I do several things, and then suddenly I realize, I haven't been really in this relationship with Mother Earth lately. And then I realize, okay, that's why I feel maybe stressed, and maybe then of too much stress, I get a flu or a cold or whatever, no? And it's like, okay, why do I always have to wait to get sick to slow down? No? So in a way, being sick, or now that I went to surgery because they had to remove my gallbladder, and I did all my ritual to the gallbladder. I thank it for its service all this time, and but still, I was like, okay, thank you once again, body, through this unbalance, for reminding me that I still need to continue to learn to slow down, connect, and reconnect. No, life is not being busy, 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 busy. It's something, in my case, I have learned as a mechanism of survivor, uh, but it's not the only way to live.
Talk to you for hours and hours, and yeah, this topic totally resonates with me. Yeah, because when I first started meditation, Brisa, it took me 3 years to feel my body. Really. I was like always doing the body scan, like what's happening there? Okay, today nothing. Okay, I will check. And it took me really 3 years to feel what's happening. And as you mentioned, my eyes are teary now. It's just like I realized that I was like tired and fatigued, and I didn't have it like 1% energy. Was I was pushing myself to do more because it wasn't bedtime. You don't need to do that. It's resting is okay. Being tired is okay, and our body is changing, and this is okay, and this is amazing actually.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think I'm seeing human body as magical. It's changing, things are changing, we're giving birth, and I think we are not getting older, we are getting more wisdom.
Both.
Yes.
Both at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the design on Earth.
Yes.
We will get older.
Yes.
We are aging. But as you were saying, no, that's part of the practice. Like every time we see, like I'm impressed right now, no? with the skin, how it changes. It's like, my neck. Like I think I don't know, last year wasn't like that. No, or these wrinkles. Yes, I had always wrinkles because I laughed a lot and I was like that in the sun. But it's like, oh, and this one. So it can be like this practice of impermanence and curiosity. It's like, ah, wow. And it's very interesting, right? Because this changes, but there is something within that also changes. But then we start meeting that something that I don't know how to call it, that has always been there. And when I meet it, the only way to meet it is through this body. And it's home. It feels ease, peace, and love. And it's only through this body. So as long as I am on this earth, it's going to be through this body. So I have learned to meet it with curiosity, with kindness, little by little. I'm not gonna lie that every now and then I'm thinking like, okay, no, okay, am I strong? No. So yeah, it's I think part of the conditioning that we have received, and at the same time as we are conscious about it, we can activate another way of relating with body and deactivate that tendency conditioning that we have inherited. Not necessarily it's ours, it's the society that we have been raised, right?
Thank you very much, Brisa, for all the wisdom you share. And I'm deeply grateful that you are part of this.
It's really an honor.
Really,
Thank you. Thank you
really.
for
Thank
inviting.
you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. And before closing, I will ask you one more question.
Yes.
Is there a book that you can recommend us?
So Tara Brach and Jack Kornfield, like with them, I learned a lot more about compassion and kindness. And with Tara, I learned a lot. I think it was a leap into feeling safe in my body. And then also because for many years, my practice was more like Zen.
Hmm.
And there, I couldn't, I didn't felt so in contact with my body, no? Until one moment when I was still practicing Zen and I started to practice with Tara and Jack. And then body mind merged. No? And then also Pema Chödrön.
She's one of my favorites. She's
And Thich Nhat Hanh.
yeah.
Yeah, any book I think of any of those.
Yeah.
Always, no matter if I have already read them, I bloop, open randomly. It's like, okay, thank you.
Yes, I'm doing the same. Yeah, definitely. Like something in my mind, I'm opening like radical acceptance and like,
Uh-huh.
okay, this is the answer. Thank you.
Yeah. And one, I haven't met her yet, but is one of my dear friend's teachers. Um, this friend is a long friend of mine and also has been a teacher of mine in a moment of radical forgiveness. But now she's being a family constellator.
Mm.
So one of her teachers is Brigitte Champetier. and
Mm.
and and there are some like some cues on the when one is a constellator that really needs to be very in contact with the body. So there's when we organize retreats together, no, and when it's her moment of facilitating or facilitating a constellation or a systemic work, I can see very much in resonance uh, the part of mindfulness, of embodied mindfulness, with the body sensations, no. So yeah, that's another one. And that has been, it was, as you were saying, it's been difficult and not easy to feel the body, no. But once I felt it, I feel safe to feel it, because I was bypassing also for many years, only wanted to feel my spiritual part, my energetic part. But once I felt it, was like, wow, no, this is the core of the practice, the core of being human being, no, to feel. And then when I started to feel uh, le- less fear of those emotions that were frightening for me, like shame, like anger, like guiltiness, like even fear as well. When I started to feel them, and it's a continuous process, long life process, then also that was a step as well into finding this body as a companion, and as a home, and as a vehicle, recognizing it a vehicle to experience life on earth, because I'm a human being right now. And I started realizing that being spiritual is really being human being. It doesn't, if you are not a human being and really learning to be human, no? When we talk about, oh, so how human is that person, is someone that is mindful, compassionate, generous, but all starts with the connection of with this body, no? Sorry, I went to Hi.
Thank you very much. Really